Good morning and dobre rano to all of the Czech people out there that noticed that I have the Czech flag above my television. Enough of you have commented that I'm going to tell you the story. So before I found out about my cancer, I used to host a lot of backpackers in my house, and many of those backpackers were from the countries that I taught English as a second language in. So those countries are in particular Poland, the Czech Republic, Chile and Argentina. And most recently, I had some people stay here from the Czech Republic. And the tennis was on. And one of the famous tennis players that was playing was Karolina Pliskova. And in order to support Karolina and the Czech Republic, I printed out the flag and I put it above the television so that while we were watching the tennis, we could support the Czech team as only we know how. So that's why I have the Czech flag there. That is why I know a very small amount of the Czech language. And I've kept the flag up there because all of the Czech people I've met have been absolutely kind, wonderful people. And hopefully one day I will be able to host backpackers again. And I will certainly be looking to host people from the Czech Republic again, also Poland, also Argentina, also many other countries. So that's the reason I have that flag up there. Now, in terms of what I'm going to do today, I need to tell you that I am going to be applying to be in a clinical trial for a drug called Bromac. Bromac is an Australian trial. It's being run out of Sydney, and it uses a chemical that's found in pineapples, of all things, to treat the mucinous ascites associated with pseudomyxoma peritonei, which is the exact cancer that I've got. So as you can imagine, it was quite exciting for me to find that in my home country, there is a trial for a drug for my exact cancer, which is all the more amazing considering that my cancer has an incidence rate of 1 in a million. So with that kind of incidence rate, I feel compelled to have a go and apply. In order to apply, I've had to get copies of my PET scan, contrast CT scan and MRI scan on CD and DVD, and I need to get them ready for an information pack that I then send off for assessment to see whether I can be in the trial or not. The thing is, I want to take copies of these before I send them off, but I don't have a computer anymore that can actually read a CD or a DVD in my house. So one of the things I'm going to be doing today is going to visit a friend who has a laptop with a CD DVD player so that I can transfer the information that's on these discs onto my external USB hard drive. The other thing I need to do today is get a referral to be assessed for that trial. So I'm going to contact my PMP doctor from Joondalup Health Campus and see whether he's happy to write me a referral. And if he's not, I'll be contacting my GP and asking her to write me a referral. But one way or the other, I'm going to get a referral to be assessed for this Bromac trial. So here we go. This is what I'm doing today. Now, for those of you that may have missed an episode, I need to point some things out to you. Zara has got a brand new front tyre. I don't know if you can see that is a brand new Michelin right there. She's got a brand new Michelin on the front and she's got a brand new license plate on the rear. And today it's an overcast day in Perth, but it's certainly a day where you can get a bike out. So let's go riding. Got a chitty just up here. It's chirping away. Anyway, I've just come back from my bike trip, and I've transferred all of my CDs and DVDs onto this hard drive here. So I've done the first part of what I need. Now I just need to get a referral to go and see this doctor in New South Wales. So I'll get on with that while I sit here and watch this chitty playing in my backyard. And the other thing I'm going to do while I'm waiting is I've got to keep reading on my book, When Breath Becomes Air. So I'm going to go on with reading that as well. Talk to you again soon.
Hello there. I've just had a phone call with the secretary of my PMP surgeon. So PMP is pseudomyxoma peritoni, because that is who I'm hoping is going to write me the referral for the BROMAC trial. I've just spoken to that doctor's, secretary, and she has indicated to me that he is going to give me a referral, and I'll either get that referral electronically today or later this week. But that will be something that I can send electronically to Sydney, which means I'm now ready to post off my information pack to Sydney with my CDs and DVDs in it. So I'm now ready to do that. Now, because you're on this journey with me, I don't want to withhold things from you. So I do want to relate something that the secretary said to me, which is that my PMP surgeon is of the opinion that the BROMAC trial will not be particularly helpful to me, and he essentially said, I don't really support Paul being on this trial, but I will give him a referral to be assessed. That is disappointing to hear, but he is a professional man and he has a professional opinion, and he knows this stuff better than I do. And if it turns out that I'm not well suited to the trial, then I need to accept that. It did hit me though that my PMP surgeon thinks that I'm not a good candidate for that particular trial, but I'm going to try. Sometimes you just have to try, and I'm certainly in a situation where I'm looking at many avenues, and let me put it to you this way. There are probably, just as a general rule for life, if you don't fail occasionally, you're probably not trying quite hard enough. You know, you need to be pushing at things to the point where occasionally you fail, because if every time you succeed, there's definitely opportunities that you're missing. If you occasionally fail, it means you probably are pushing hard enough that you're getting the majority of the opportunities that are possible for you. So whether I'm accepted or not, I am going to try. So I'll now head off down to the post office, and we'll send off this information pack. Here we go. So I'm here at the post office, and I've just got my express post pack just here. So I'm just going to address that up and send it off. So here we go. Okay, I've just got back from the post office, and I've now posted off that information pack off to the University of New South Wales, which is where the team running the BROMAC trial are based. So that's all done. So the main part of this episode is now complete. So now I want to talk about a little add-on to do at the end. And it stems from a conversation that I had with Jared Pogg about an hour ago, where I said something to Jared. Jared then passed it on to Josh, and Josh laughed. And Jared then reported back to me that I had made Josh laugh, and it was great to see Josh laughing for the first time in a fair while. I mean, as you can imagine, Josh is finding it quite hard to laugh at the moment. So I thought I would take it upon myself to see if I can make Josh laugh not once, but twice in 24 hours. So the next scene is my attempt to see if I can make Josh, perhaps Jared, and perhaps you as well, laugh. So please enjoy.
She's a backseat that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that's undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. Backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a 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 backseat lover that is always undercover. Backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. Backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. Backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat lover that is always undercover. She's a backseat.
There's a backseat lover that's always undercover, and I talk to my daddy, say, send your 18 till you're down on it, and it's sure to be changing ways. I've been a cheerleader, that's a real big leader, of times like a reminisce. And the best thing, love it, was a sister and your cousin, and it started with a little. like you just don't care. So to this bitch head at the high school dance with a lady who was ready to play. It wasn't me, she was fooling, 'cause she knew what she was doing when she told me how to walk this way. She told me to walk this way, talk this way, walk this way, talk this way. She told me to walk this way, talk this way, walk this way, talk this way. Well, just give me a kiss.
All right, Josh. I hope I made you smile. I even hope I made you laugh. Enjoy it, my friends. I'll talk to you again soon, okay? See you later.